Well, good morning, YouTube fans. This is I, Big D, talking to you about something else this morning. I got up this morning, I was looking out the front windshield of the van, and I saw it was about 6 inches apart, little dots. They were 6 inches apart in a straight line, straight back to the van, about every 2 to 3 inches. So I got out of the front seat from the gas pump where I actually filled up the diesel tank last night, and I looked under the van and there's a pool of oil. I popped the hood. On top it looks like the transmission housing. It's just saturated with oil. Not the way you want to wake up in the morning, the first thing you want to start with. But the reason I'm bringing this up is something that coming out here you got to expect. Now I've got 208,000 miles in the van. You're going to have to expect these kind of things to happen. The problem is you guys don't get ready for it, and when it happens, you're screwed. Now, I am going to take a little walk around the dealership as I talk. I'm at Corwin Dodge in Fargo, North Dakota. I got up this morning; it was -2 degrees out there. So I want to give you a look at the outside, and there's a reason I'm even going to bring that up, so that you understand what I'm about to tell you. -2 degrees, and everything out here is frozen, folks. I mean, windshield up here is, -17, something like that. So, that's an issue you have to be prepared to deal with. Now, I don't like sitting in a dealership like anybody else, but here I am, and it's busy today, and they luckily going to get it in this afternoon to look at it, so I'm just kind of stuck here. But there's the indoor where you pull it in. They probably cleaned up the oil, or I dripped all over it this morning, but out there is the service area. But the reason I'm bringing it up is this. If you don't prepare for this event, then you're going to get caught with your pants down, and you're going to get stuck. Now, you have to have an emergency fund for just this purpose. When these issues happen, what do you do? Well, you're going to have to basically get it fixed. Now, well, they have to order parts. I have to be stuck here. Well, then I got to deal with that. So that means I got to have a fund set aside just for this emergency. Now, it could be something as simple as the oil filler, and then they're cracked due to the extreme temperatures, and it's leaking oil. That would be an inexpensive fix. It could be the oil cooler. That'd be like $1,500, maybe a couple nights at a motel. I mean, you're not going to be sitting in these places overnight. They're closed, so you'd have to go to a motel. So you're going to have the money for the motel. You're going to have the money for the repairs to take care of this. And this is where a lot of guys come out here and get in trouble. You have to be prepared. If you're not, well, then you're just hurting yourself. So just remember, we talk about being prepared. I will do another video here in a little bit when they figure out what's wrong with this van and what's going to happen, and I keep you advised. But right now we're at the service shop due to an extreme oil leak. My whole purpose of this is be ready for this. Have an emergency fund. We talk about it all the time. This can happen, and when it does, you best be ready for it, because if you have to go to a motel and stay a couple days and you got to pay for the repair, this could be a couple $1,000s, and if not more. You better have the money set aside for this. And that's where a lot of drivers end up out of this business. They did not set money aside. Always set 10% aside each week religiously, just for this purpose. It's like I heard the guy say that it only cost him 10 cents a mile. Well, no, it costs a little more than that, folks. I hate to tell you this, because you got to have replacement cost figured in. You got to have maintenance cost figured in. All these things have to be figured into your cost. And if you're not smart, you don't figure it in, you don't take out for it. I've been out here for 1.5 years. I got 208,000 miles in this van, and this is the first time into a dealership for something. I mean, besides, basic maintenance. So here I am, sitting, and as soon as I know something, you will